Hi Glendale, I'm Gus Kruger,
And I'm Maya Morse.
and you're watching the 6th episode of the Glendale 411.
In this episode, we will see a teacher feature, a mushroom society, and more information about prom dresses.
So stay tuned. Prom season is on the horizon, and you can shop local for your dress. Jack Gillum and Harper Glazer show us where to go.
Prom is coming up, and Norman's Bridal has a program to help students get amazing dresses at amazing prices.
I think Glendale students should shop at Norman's Bridal because we are such a fun and welcoming environment. We have tons of dresses from tons of different designers, and basically anything that you can think of, we usually have it.
Our ambassador program is just where we pick a small group of girls from different towns just around here, and they'll come in for some photo shoots, and they just kind of advertise for Norman's Bridal for their town, and that's how kind of we draw in more prom girls. Yeah.
On their social media around when school starts, they posted an advertisement asking for prom ambassadors, and you sign up and you say a little bit about yourself, what you're involved in, and where you go to school. It's so much fun. You get to meet other girls from around the area, and you get to try on so many pretty dresses, and it's so fun.
We get people from everywhere. We track our dresses, so we don't sell the same dress to the same location, in the same size, like color, anything.
Norman's is so special, and they're so close to home, so it's so good, and they have such a good selection.
To support a local business and get your perfect prom dress, stop by Norman's Bridal.
A longtime teacher is saying goodbye. Tristan Zachary and Gus Kruger have the story.
Longtime friend of Glendale, Mr. Kugler, is entering retirement after this school year, while enjoying every last moment.
Well, I started in 2015, and I retired actually for 2 years. I worked part-time during that. So basically, at the end of this year, I will have taught full-time at Glendale 8 years, even though it's been a 10-year span. My first experience coming from Rogersville, where I used to teach, I was actually a little bit shell-shocked a little bit coming to Glendale, learning the whole high school routine.
I believe my first class with them was my sophomore year, maybe my freshman year even. I started in the intro to wood tech, and then I've worked my way up from there. Now I'm in the advanced classes.
But I decided to go back and get a teaching certificate. I taught math for a little bit, but when the opportunity came up for me to switch over to industrial tech, I couldn't pass it up because I loved my shop classes. So.
He's like the best for a wood shop teacher. So like he just helps us learn, but also helps us learn on our own by figuring stuff out as well. Since I know a lot of stuff, it's just real easy to come in and help people, and like he's taught me so well.
It happens at all levels. I can see creativity at the lower levels, but then as they get more advanced and their creativity is able to blossom even more, a lot of times that's really fun. And so I love being a part of that and helping them, create their dreams. I'm going to miss being in the shop with the students. I'm going to miss several of the teachers that I've built, relationships with. Not that I can't continue to have a relationship with them, but I won't be working with them every day. So
he's always saying good morning to me, stuff like that. Just conversations with him, I think, is one of the best things.
I've got a little business with my a friend of mine, a little vending business that really isn't going anywhere. But so I've got lots of little ideas, things to try.
A true inspiration to Glendale, we wish him a pleasant goodbye and a bright future. Explore the Missouri Mycological Society with Kinsey St. Clair and Sinai Crawford.
Everyone has their own special interests. For Glendale teacher Miss Wake, it's mushrooms.
I have been an active member of the Missouri Mycological Society since, I think, 2017. I had recently, the fall before, gotten into mushrooms accidentally. I was walking with my dog outside, and she knocked over something that looked really gross, and I looked at it, and it turned out to be a morel mushroom. There was only one active chapter in the state, and it was St. Louis. And so for my birthday, I told my husband, I want to go to this thing called the Winter Luncheon in St. Louis, Missouri for the Mycological Society. The president of the whole state situation, her name is Maxine Stone. She let us sit with her, so we got to sit right next to her and have some really good conversations. And she said, well, why didn't you go to the Springfield chapter's event? And I said, there's a Springfield chapter?
The Springfield chapter was founded in 2011 by Michael Baird, holding meetings bi-monthly for the last 14 years.
Our state and our region, the Ozarks in general, have been sorely understudied as far as the native fungi that we have growing here. With the modern DNA sequencing research kind of revolution that is going on in mycology, we are really learning a lot of new information very rapidly. So there are new species being discovered all the time, and it's estimated that there are 1 million more that have not been described yet. Here in Missouri, in the last couple of years, with my kind of job as the research head with the Mycological Society, we have really started to do a lot of DNA sequencing.
So basically it's a project called MycoMap. There's a nonprofit DNA lab. It's based in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's doing DNA sampling for organizations like Missouri Mycological Society.
Do what's called DNA barcoding. And this is basically looking at the genes of a fungus and basically looking at a little snippet of the genetic code of a fungus. And for different organisms, there are different portions of that code that you can use to tell them apart.
Through DNA sequencing, the Springfield chapter alone has discovered thousands of new species of fungi.
We have professional mycologists that lead microscopy workshops where we use the microscopes to look at different species. We then catalog them, and it goes into a database that is important to know, like, what's growing in what area. The emerging area of research right now is really in genetics. And so while we have classified most fungi based on their morphological characteristics, meaning how they look, now we are finding out that we need to sequence their DNA because even though they look similar to something else, they're totally genetically different or unique.
The Mycological Society assists in notifying the public on the dangers of invasive species within our environment.
The invasive golden oyster mushrooms, which are commonly available grow kits. And people will unknowingly throw these kits out in their trash can, and all it takes is a couple spores to germinate, and then they outcompete our native species.
With the efforts of the MycoMap project, mycologists have discovered that while fungi may match physical description, genetically, the fungi is completely different.
There's some really interesting research coming out about like the neuroregenerative properties of common mushrooms that grow here in Missouri. So if we can figure out how to get more like medicines from nature, that's going to lessen the reliance on big pharma, as they say.
The Mycological Society offers a community for those interested in the fascinating world of fungi.
We're not mycologists, we're just people who have an interest that get together and learn as much as we can about fungi.
If I was to advertise the Mycological Society, I would do it on the basis of it's a worthwhile pursuit to learn anything you can about nature, and specifically mushrooms because they're very understudied.
Thank you all so much for watching.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow us on Instagram to watch our future shows.
With the Glendale 411, I'm Gus Kruger.
And I'm Maya Morse, signing out.